Well, we're re-entering the hour-long episodes of the Twilight Zone. But this time, it's the only hour-long episode which made our YouTube hero, the Angry Video Game Nerd's Best Episodes list.
Yay!
B5-0, fuck you!
James Rolfe dubs this plot the best deal with the devil story from this classic franchise. And while I don't consider it one of my top 10 favorites, I can safely say that it was a damn good tale. We follow a struggling newspaper editor named Douglas Winter, slowly losing his company after rival outlets outdo his paper, to the point where he loses all of his employees except for himself and his secretary girlfriend. Douglas falls to despair and almost commits suicide when his life's work begins to die. But just before he ends it all, a seemingly kind-hearted old gent pops up out of nowhere to offer him salvation. Douglas gains a new business partner who promises that he can help save his company if he joins forces with him. This stranger is a promising, powerful gentleman who goes by Mr. Smith, played by Twilight Zone alumni Burgess Meredith.
The Penguin.
I am an aristocrat of crookery, my dear man.
It goes without saying, Burgess Meredith is undoubtedly the best actor of the Twilight Zone. He constantly brings a delightfully over-the-top yet joyful performance in every episode he stars in. However, in most of his appearances, the Penguin is often depicted as the heroic underdog, but not this time. This round, he is naturally playing the devil. James Rolfe claims that he's the show's best version of Satan, and I can totally see why. Mr. Meredith carries that same demented supervillain energy he has as good old Oswald Cobblepot. He's almost like Fear from the Haunting Hour or Emperor Palpatine, so energetically diabolical that he sets the mood. It helps that his role actually perfectly plays up the horror of having Lucifer as your sketchy coworker. The devil, aka Mr. Smith, essentially helps Douglas rebuild his company as the #1 news outlet in America, and all it costs him is one pack of Sprite. No, of course, it's a soul treaty. I do like how Mr. Smith never exactly says he wants his soul. Instead, he pretends to be a sort of eccentric millionaire, fooling Mr. Winter into trusting him. It seriously makes him more threatening by demonstrating how suave and mischievous this devil can be, compared to the more obviously evil incarnations. The Demon Penguin aids the paper biz by bringing in his magical printer, which can summon any story it says to life. And apparently, the Prince of Darkness can type 1,000 words a minute, since he prints them some quality stories every day, drawing popularity to Mr. Winters' publishing. But, you know it comes with a sinister catch. The devil is also using the paper company to make bad things happen to people, causing death, destruction, pain, and worst of all, fear. The devil is spreading his chaos upon the world through Mr. Winters' paper, and working here allows him to grow his power. This is some unsettling nightmare fuel. Not only is this the typical deal with the devil plot, but the devil is benefiting from this more than his pathetic pawn. We actually get a montage of the demon typing out stories of twisted events, then see people dying or suffering in some way to pretty much hint that yes, he's unleashing evil upon our world. Now this is how you do a power-crazed penguin.
I played this stinking city like a harp from hell.
In spite of being a wackier episode, the Wrath of Satan is not downplayed, making the episode grim as it is humorous. Eventually, Douglas realizes that this might have been a bad idea, and at the urging of his girlfriend, fires Satan after a rival company of his mysteriously burnt down to the ground. Yeah, I'd say that raises some questions. However, the demon ain't leaving till he gets his soul payment. So the devil drafts a story where Douglas's girlfriend is killed in a tragic car accident, which hasn't happened yet. He tells Douglas that either he takes his soul in exchange for hers, or she dies in his place. Earlier in the story, the devil acted like a creepy incel and tried making a move on the secretary, but she spurned him, and the devil don't like rejection. So yes, the devil wants to take her soul if Douglas doesn't kill himself and surrender his own, all because she slapped him away.
Love me!
However, the demon stupidly gave our hero a time limit where he has an hour and a half to make the fatal choice over whose soul gets donated. While Satan offers the gal a ride in order to cause the tragic accident he wrote out. And this is where the tale kind of loses me. We're supposed to buy that this lady, who knows the penguin is a creeper and dangerous, suddenly trusts this guy enough to take a ride home with him.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, Charles Beaumont, but no. I do not buy for a single second that any woman anywhere would take a ride home with a creepy weirdo who catcalled and harassed her for a date. Even in a show which has the penguin as the Demon King, this is total BS. It's so forced. I was honestly loving this episode so much until it was time for the final face-off, where there's a ton of idiot moments and contrivances to have our big epic ending. It could have easily been blown off if, like, the magic printer made her act this way, but no, this lady is really that stupid. I only complain because the writing of this episode was so phenomenal up until this point where the laziness suddenly took over. It's just a lame finale. Like a moron, she of course gets into the car with a creeper she hates. But, oh no, the penguin attempts to crash their ride in order to claim her soul. Fortunately, the devil is also an idiot, since he left his magical printer back at the newspaper office, where Douglas writes out an alternate ending to get rid of Satan and save the girl. I get that it's an old show and we're meant to see this as the hero regaining his resolve by using his own typing skills to save the day, but it just feels a tad anticlimactic. Especially since this episode does a great job at entertaining us overall and showing what a mastermind this devil is. The episode's greatest weakness is that the quality of the writing drops off by the end just to have this big action-packed climax, but failing to see that the characters got stupider. Douglas rescues his girlfriend and reveals that he wrote out a paper which retcons his contract with the devil. And they throw out that demonic printer as Douglas finally restores faith in his own writing skills. That final bit is rather sweet, yet they kind of speed through it once Burgess vanishes. The Printer's Devil is not a deep nor revolutionary episode, but I do kind of cherish it as a dumb, fun, spooky story with a boss devil, grim nightmare fuel, and a slightly touching believe-in-yourself moral towards the tail end. The only bad part is the forced, rushed epic finale, which ditches a lot of the quality just to race to the finish and have our heroes win. Nevertheless, I give this tale of suspense a gold skull. Not a perfect assignment, but it's so far one of the better deal with the devil narratives from this show, and easily rises above the other hour-long episodes. It's just a dumb fun monster episode. But hey, even a dumb fun story can still be worth 1,000 words.
Fancy that. A grown-up man who believes in the devil.
The Twilight Zone.